be pros and nos
start the
today.
argument first.
Pocky and I, we always have fun together, and I always make him go first because I try to one-up him, but today I was like, I'm going to go first because there's no way you're going to one-up me on this one.
You know what? I almost admit to that.
Yeah, I picked two good shows. You picked two good shows, but one of them I had no idea what it was.
By the way, I have to preface this. I spent an hour and a half going through shows that I loved that got like...
I spent 5 seconds to pick at the two shows that I would love to should come back. So that's what we're talking about. Shows that are gone that we need to be brought back from the grave. And I'm going to kick it off with my number one, which is Invader Zim. Now, let's face facts here.
Sorry.
That was one of the greatest shows ever, and I wish I could have been in that pitch meeting for Nintendo, for Nickelodeon when they said, let's get the guy who does Johnny the Homicidal Maniac to do a cartoon for us. What the hell did you think you were going to get?
So the best part was about this pitch meeting was that actually they met the guy at Comic-Con. One of the head's granddaughters loved him. And like, oh, if all my granddaughter loves him, then all these other people love him. And there were
people like that work. But
so,
still, they had this great series, and he had a whole plan that like they were going to do more attack, and Squee was going to end up on Earth, but they canceled it for Butt Ugly Martians, which lasted like 2 weeks.
No, it actually lasted for like 3 seasons. But yeah, there's
no way that show lasted 3 seasons.
It lasted 3 seasons. Yeah.
Screw you! I'm calling Scrabble denial on you. That's not real.
That's.
We're gonna look this up after the show.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys can let us know here.
Yes.
So, Invader Zim, right? Next up, Farscape.
Hold on, I have to say why it won't work.
No. You know it because you know it's gonna work.
No.
You can say why this next one will work. Farscape.
Fine. Ended
way too early, and before the show even started, there was a big argument. Those are dividing lines. What was better, Firefly or Farscape? Most of us are on the Farscape side. A few Firefly fans are over there going, he's carrying the little space boots.
What about Blake 7?
So, Farscape.
Wow, we are starting the Flame Wars early.
Farscape ended way too early. Like, I think everything should have an ending, and I think it needed 1 or 2 more seasons to come to that right ending. Like, Breaking Bad was allowed to make the right ending. Seinfeld went on way too long. Simpsons is going on way too long. You know, I think everything should have a good ending. They did that mini movie, but it wasn't enough. And now they're going to bring it back in the future. But does anybody care now?
Well, isn't this what we're saying? Is that we care enough that we want to see these things back?
But is it too late now that they've already announced, hey, you're going to come back with the kid and everything?
I don't think so. I actually kind of like the idea of doing it as a feature. But here's the thing: the reason why I don't think it would work right now is it was a little too hopeful. It had a lot of hope and a lot of thing.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, because at the end of the day,
Star Trek is way more hopeful than that, and that show won't the hell go away.
Yes, but they changed it. They changed it to make it a little more darker.
The movies.
Yes, exactly. Those movies are now things.
The series is nothing but optimism. Well, I mean, come on, they live in a utopian society. At least in Farscape, everything was pretty deranged and crazy and oddly overly sexualized now that I think about it.
Right, but at the same time, they still, like, there were still, like, monsters and creatures they met that were not evil, they just were misunderstood. Like the creatures from the other dimension that were talking through binary or whatever.
Well, I think it would have been fun to see this one actually be able to come back.
And here's another reason. Everything's going to be CGI. They had the Jim Henson creature shop making everything.
They had some CGI in that show, but it was still puppets.
And it was mostly the ship because Maya couldn't. I mean,
if you were to CG pilot, I would riot. I would literally riot if you CG pilot.
Pilot, and what was the short bird creature thing?
Riot.
But you know what I'm talking about. We don't have to.
It's right there tip of my tongue because I almost said hoggle, but you know.
But he would get CGI'd.
Well, they had the CGI floating around. But anyways, so you're right. They would totally come back and make it into the CGI crap fest. And
right.
We'd be mad.
They would also make it really cynical. And that would, if we want cynical, that's what our show's for.
All right, so it's your turn.
My two.
With what you got.
Okay, I want to say this. I had like so many shows I wanted to bring back. These were the two for me. And there was tons of them, trust me. Misfits of Science that ran from 1985, in October of 1985 to March 1986.
He went into dates and stuff. I'm like, my shows because they were awesome. No one's heard of Misfits of Science. That's why it won't come back.
No. One, it will totally come back because now the superhero genre is blowing up. Because Misfits of Science was about a group of scientists and misfits that basically ran around stopping bad guys of the week scenario. This would so work right now because
we have too many of those right now.
But so many stations, this could work because it would be generally a good science show, so blah blah blah. But also at the same time,
and blah blah blah.
Right, because it was on a science field. They were actually, instead of putting it as a government institute.
See, I thought when I looked this up, this was a bootleg Bill Nye the Science Guy.
No.
It's cool, like the Electric Company version of science show.
No, but also at the same time, it had like Courtney Cox. Like this was like her first major role, and this was kind of what made it noteworthy. this show would so work right now. They could like go around the world collecting the misfits and these genetic freaks going around.
That's what Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is already doing.
Except the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is doing it in Marvel. We could do stuff that's original and fun versus like,
No one will watch it because where's the comic book based on it?
Well, you know what? We could make a comic book based on it, and that's something we can talk about later.
Okay, what's your
AKA
next
Top
show?
Dresden Files.
You talk about this one a lot. This should be a drinking game. When I bring up Space Channel 5 or Speed Racer, when he brings up Dresden Files, it should be a drinking game.
I don't bring Dresden Files.
You bring it up as often as you possibly can. Like, this is the third show this past 6 months you brought up Dresden Files.
Yes, but how many times have we did a top 10 list where it's like one particular movie and or show has been mentioned as things that cannot be remade or touched?
So tell me about Dresden Files, because wasn't this a sci-fi show?
It was a sci-fi channel.
That was due to get canceled to begin with.
Right,
it was on
right.
Sci-Fi.
It was on Sci-Fi Channel. They changed a whole bunch from the books because it is a book franchise. And their pilot episode wasn't even the first book. It was about a kid who got kidnapped who wasn't really kidnapped. And it was really weird. The best part was the actor who they had played Harry Dresden looked like Harry Dresden if you read the descriptions in the book. And now, look, you put it on Starz or you put it on Showtime. You allow the books to actually do what they do.
Who the hell puts shows on Showtime? That network sucks.
Actually, there's a lot of shows right now on that.
They're all boring. There's no explosions. Come on now.
Yes, everything has to have explosions for you, otherwise it sucks.
It does.
What about Starz?
Starz could probably do it, but the problem is we're in that age now where this won't work because everyone wants the sparkly paranormal romance with the whiny teen girl and the heartthrob guys, and it's all just dumb. I mean, if you look at it, every one of them is like that.
Right, but this would be the show that's like Ash versus the Evil Dead, where your main hero is not a total jerk. But
Ash versus the Evil Dead wouldn't have worked had it not been Ash versus the Evil Dead. If they would have called it anything else, that show would have bombed.
I don't know. There's a lot of people who are getting tired of the whole sparkly scenario and everything's cute and romancy.
Yeah, this because we're grown-ass adults with kids and stuff.
Right.
But everything that makes the decisions are based on the younger crowd. That's what all the marketing people look at.
Right,
What's tweeted on Twitter? Oh, sparkly vampire. Let's make a show.
Yes, but at the same time, those shows still have a tendency to last. The shows that have the ones that can cross over multiple generations are the ones that last. Look Supernatural. They actually have multiple fans and multiple age groups.
It's because they have a cool car.
They do.
So that's been our pros and nos. If you had a thought about a show that you'd like to see come back from the grave at some point in time, let us know in the comments. And we're going to get into a Geek Week news because we've got to get ready to start talking about some more TV. So that was a fun pros and nos, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Punch in the face.
I think I made everybody laugh with shaking in your space boots. I don't know where that came from, but here's Geek Week news. We'll be right back after this.
I think I like this talk of the apocalypse. This makes me amused.
All right,
Mostly, hold on.
We're almost out of time, so
I
we
know.
gotta wrap this up. Be quick.
So my thing is I love people who tell me about the end of the world because I have literally heard about the end of the world since 1901 when I first read about the Carolina.
You weren't alive in 1901.
Wait a minute.
Hold on.
Vampire?
Yes, over here. So in 1901, there was the Carolina end of the world cult. Literally, in North Carolina, this cult, these people said the end of the world was going to happen in 1901.
My home state.
Right. Guess what? I'm still standing here. I'm standing right here, and the end of the world did happen.
All those tabloids do it every week.